Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So thank you so much for that introduction. So my name's Vanessa Vallely and I'm founder of WeAreTechWomen and We Are the City. I've spent the last 25 years working in and advocating for the tech industry. Firstly, I'd like to thank Samantha Niblett MP for hosting us and for being such a key supporter, not just of my organisation, but every Women in Tech initiative across the UK. I would also like to thank Deborah O'Neill and the entire team at Oliver Wyman for partnering with us on the Lovelace report. My thanks also go to Karen Blake, a key contributor and someone that we couldn't have lived without, and to the incredible women who completed the survey and took part in our interviews. Your honesty and insight made this possible. If you took part in the survey, or if you're one of the ladies we interviewed, can you just put your hand up, please? Can we just have a round of applause for these ladies? Without them, there's no data, right? I spent 25 years working in the tech industry, starting in infrastructure support and going on to be part of large transformation and change programs across global banks. I've witnessed the sector evolve in some extraordinary ways, but what's become painfully clear is how many of the challenges for women have stayed the same. I recognise much of my own journey in the Lovelace report because the barriers I face are still very much present today. Lack of recognition, being overlooked for stretch assignments, slow progression, battling for your voice to be heard. These challenges are still echoing through the experience of thousands of women in tech today. At WeAreTechWomen, we are fortunate enough to be on the ground with thousands of women in the tech community. Through our conferences, awards, leadership programs, focus groups, and the ever-popping WhatsApp chats, we stay closely connected to our communities. What we hear often consistently is frustration. Frustration at the lack of progress, the lack of opportunity, and the sense that no matter how much they invest in themselves, through extra qualifications, networking, or stepping up, the doors rarely open. When I launched WeAreTechWomen 10 years ago, the representation of women in tech stood at 17%. Today, despite all of the collective efforts, and I'm not just talking about my organisation, I'm talking about every single Women in Tech ERG, every not-for-profit, every charity that works for this, that number is still only 20%, a glacial climb in 10 years. We've inched forward when we really should have leapt. And this is exactly why this report matters. The Lovelace report puts hard evidence that many of us have known for years. We're not just losing women in tech, we're pushing them out. Over 45 women lead tech roles each year. This is not just a loss of talent. This is, as said before, the 2 to 3.5 billion annual economic loss. Now, if anyone says this is about personal choice or caring responsibilities, it actually came out in our survey that women only leave tech, only 3% of women in the survey cited caregiving as the reason for leaving. So they're not walking away from tech, they're walking away from systems that fail to see them, to reward them, or to provide a future that they can believe in. Mid-level women are waiting over 5 years for a promotion. Over 60% of experienced women are earning below their industry benchmark. Nearly 80% are considering leaving their roles. And these are women that have spent 10, 15, 20 years building their careers, their resilience. Let's be honest, this is a progression issue, a retention issue, a leadership issue, an industry issue, and make no mistake, it's an economic issue. Now layer on top of that the rapid rise of AI. Right now we're in a rare moment of reset, where AI is still relatively new. The rules are being written, and the opportunity to lead is wide open. Women have as much right and as much potential to shape this future, but if they're not retained, if they're not advanced, and if they're not represented in the decision-making roles, we risk, to Karen's point, hard-coding historical bias into the systems that will define our lives. The UK have made some pretty bold claims of late about becoming a global tech superpower by 2030. How can we achieve that vision if we continue to lose half the talent? This isn't about diversity, it's about national capability, it's about innovation, it's about productivity and economic growth. The Lovelace report makes 3 urgent recommendations that companies can act on today. The biggest thing is around career stagnation. If someone's been in a role for 3 years with no clear pathway, that's a red flag. And I get for companies this is hard to do when you're talking of thousands and thousands of staff, but there needs to be some form of intervention there. Why are they getting stuck? What do they need to move forward? Are they in the wrong area? Are they working even for the wrong person? Leave no stone unturned, but ultimately give them the opportunities that stretch their capability, but also gives them visibility, because we all know visibility is key. fair allocation of work, so distributing high impact work equitably. Stop handing out critical projects based on visibility or proximity, and you all know what I mean by this. The usual suspects get the high profile roles, they do it because they've gone in and they've delivered before. Why not take a chance on an absolutely incredible, brilliant woman who's going to go and smash it? I'll leave that one there. Make career progression transparent, create simple, bias-free, accessible career maps so we all know what we're doing, we know what that pathway looks like. No more mystery promotions, no more do the job for a year and we'll pay you, none of that. Remove those extra hurdles. So if companies can look at these recommendations, not as an add-on, as a core business strategy, we will build a stronger, more resilient tech sector. We will stop hemorrhaging talent. We'll stop leaving billions on the table. And most importantly, we'll stop wasting the potential of thousands of brilliant performers. So today, as we launch the Lovelace report, I want to ask every single leader in the room not just to read the findings, but to act on them. Action is key. Use the report as your business case to do more. Share it with your senior leadership teams, your HR leads, your boards. Have uncomfortable conversations, audit your data, be transparent, set goals and measure progress like you would any other business critical initiative. Because this is business critical. If we want to build an ethical, inclusive, truly world-leading tech in the UK, we need to make sure that we're not just in the room, but leading it. And in the words of Houses of Parliament, can everyone say aye? Aye. Thank you very much.